guys, today I'm here with the Smittybilt hitch-mounted cargo rack fitting all your Wranglers with a 2-inch hitch receiver. So everybody knows that cargo space inside your Jeep is very limited, especially with the two-door models. So exterior mounted cargo solutions are definitely preferred to mount up all of that extra cargo that you want to take with you on a trip, out camping, or even out on the trail. So this option by Smittybilt is going to be a very affordable and very accessible way to access all of your cargo on the back of your Wrangler while not taking up the amount of money as well as the amount of space that a bulky roof rack would take up. So there are a lot of other options on the site that you may be seeing for rear-mounted cargo solutions. There will be options that mount up to your spare tire carrier as well as your tailgate, but this is going to very easily mount up to your hitch receiver. It will be universal with all 2-inch hitch receivers, and it's going to be able to hold up to 500 pounds. Now that is a very impressive number compared to a lot of other rear-mounted cargo racks on the site right now, and it's going to keep all of those other locations open to mounting up any smaller accessories like trail mounts or trail jack mounts or jerry cans. So at the moment, like I said, this is going to be your most affordable option at roughly $75. Now you may be seeing other more expensive options on the page right now, and those are just going to be for larger cargo racks. They're either going to be in a different location or they're going to have taller walls on the side for a little bit of extra security when hauling all of your extra cargo. So since this is a lesser expensive option, the price is going to be explained in the design of this. It is a lot more simplistic and more basic, but you do have to keep in mind that impressive load rating when comparing it to other options. And personally, I think that it is definitely worth the $75. So install is going to be a very easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. You're going to need a couple of hand tools to assemble the basket and get it on your Wrangler. So speaking of the install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install today were a 3/8" drive ratchet, a 16mm wrench, a 10mm wrench, 16mm socket, 10mm socket, and a 5-inch extension. So before we mount up our hitch rack, we do have to do a little bit of assembly. Now there are going to be a couple of components that are going to connect these two parts of the basket. So we're going to start with the plates that will actually connect them on the sides in the front here and on the back here. So you are going to use your smaller hardware for this step. So these will be staggered. One will lay over the other, making for a clean fit. It's not going to look like it is out of place. So once you have the two sides of the basket together, you can grab one of your plates. As well as your smaller hardware, you are going to take the flat washer, and lock washer. Or you're going to take the flat washer, lock washer, and your nut, and thread that on there. So flat washer, then lock washer, and then your nut. So I'm going to get these all threaded in, and then we can go ahead and tighten them down at the end. So like I said, this is just one of the pieces of the puzzle that's going to hold these two racks together. There will also be the bar that's going to connect to your tow hitch, as well as 2 reinforcement bars underneath, so you do have a lot of security when hauling all of your cargo. So after the one is done, you go ahead and do the one. So after we have everything threaded in, we can go ahead and tighten everything down with a 10mm wrench and a 10mm socket and ratchet. And I would be mindful of these center holes because we will have to line those up in just a second. So now we can install the bar that will connect our basket to our tow hitch. So what we can do is slide this under our basket, and it will line up with the 3 holes on top of it. So I will have to move this off the table in just a second to secure everything down, but you are going to take the longest bolt that you have with the provided flat washer and bolt that through the center hole. So now we can maneuver this off the table, make sure that goes all the way through. You're going to take your flat washer, lock washer, and nut, and go ahead and thread that on, tighten that down. So once you have the basket secured to the bar, we are going to flip this over and continue to secure it down with our reinforcements as well as with the rest of this tow bar here. That is decently heavy, so be careful. It's pretty sturdy. Now we're going to install our reinforcement bar over the center portion. Make sure that everything lines up in the center as well in the outer corners here. And you're going to take your hardware, and maybe easier to lift up here. Install your flat washer, lock washer, and nut. Now we're not going to tighten everything down just yet. Do want to make sure that everything's lined up and positioned correctly. So for the center bolt, we will need to take the longer hardware and thread that through, just like the center portion. Good. So what we can do at this point is flip our rack over and go ahead and tighten everything down. I'm going to be using a 16mm wrench and a 16mm socket with a small extension. So I was having a little bit of trouble with this middle bolt. What I did was take off the lock washer and the flat washer originally, and once these two were tightened down, it squeezed the two parts of the basket together, giving me a couple of more threads to get those on there, because we definitely want those on there to make sure that every part of our basket is secured. So I just went ahead and put those two on there right now with those little extra threads that were exposed after we pinched these together. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten those down with a 16mm wrench and a 16mm socket. So after piecing this together, I can tell that this is a pretty solid unit, and I would trust to haul all of my cargo on the back of this. So this is made of a steel construction, so it will be pretty solid, and it does have a black powder coat finish on it to resist any rusting or corrosion on the metal while it's sitting on the back of your Wrangler. So you are going to have a large space here. You're going to have 20 by 60 inches of space, and it's going to be able to hold up to 500 pounds when it's evenly distributed. This will also have a grate system, which I do like over a lot of other options. This creates a lot of tie-down points to really secure your cargo down for that little bit of extra security. You even get small and large holes on the side of the rack for some more tie-down points. The only thing that I would like to see out of this is a little bit of a higher wall just to create a little bit more security. However, it does make up in the space that you do get compared to other options on the site that don't give you a lot of width as well as a lot of depth in their cargo baskets. So enough about the cargo basket. Let's see how it mounts up to the back of our Wrangler. So now we are ready to mount up the rack. Now this is a little bit heavy. Actually, like that, it's okay. You want to make sure that it's inserted in there enough to line up where you want to put your hitch pin. And this will be universal to really any 2-inch hitch receiver. So once that is all lined up, you can grab your hitch pin. Stick that through. Then you can take your pin and secure it down. Now this does not come with the basket. The basket just comes by itself, so you will need a hitch receiver as well as a pin in order to secure this down properly. So that's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. For more videos like this, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.